The DC Direct Amazing Androids Hourman in today's episode. Hey DC Collectors, welcome to a brand new episode of the show. Today we're taking a look at the DC Direct Amazing Androids Hourman from the fantastic JLA run from Grant Morrison. Now before we get started, if you will, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification, and please share this content. That's the best thing you can do for the channel. Now let's break this guy down. First up, we're going to take a look at the packaging. As you can see, just features the Amazing Androids logo at the top. Of course, the Hourman logo, and this is not the traditional Hourman you know from the JSA. This was an Android Hourman from like I can't remember when the Grant Morrison run was. Mid-90s, I believe, is when they relaunched JLA. As you can see, just a nice window packaging. Back of the package is where the magic is, because you get to look at all the cool DC Direct action figures that were available at the time this was released, as well as you get a little rundown about Hourman here with that cool, my favorite DC Comics logo of all time. And of course, you get to see the other two figures that were in this series, Amazo and Tomorrow Woman, which we've already reviewed, and I'll put links somewhere up in here. Okay, so with that said, let's break open Hourman and let's review. Okay, so here is Hourman out of the box, and you have to remember this figure came out late 90s, maybe 2000-ish. So you know it's gonna have the design quality and the look of a late 90s action figure. And you know, DC Direct, they were known to, make above quality standard action figures. So even for a late 90s action figure, this is still pretty cool. I mean, the paint job alone, I believe, knocks it out of the park. But you can see, I believe this thing is removable. The cloak, if it is, man, it is in there pretty good. Okay, so it's in there by two. It's got two joints, and it looks like it might have been glued in there at some point. Because this guy's going to be very hard to take off if I want to get him out of there. But I don't seem to be having any luck getting him out. So I'm just going to put that back in there because it, I could probably get it off. I mean, it's already come out, and I just don't want to pop his head off, which would suck because this guy's going on my shelf. So I really don't want to do that. But overall, you can see just a nice, good looking Hourman. You can see the paint quality on the face. You can see paint quality on the legs. I mean, it looks like it's been put on a little thick, in my opinion. But par for the course for these DC Direct figures. So if you're looking at mobility on this guy, his head can turn, but I can only move it with my thumb a little bit, but it can turn all the way around. His arms can go all the way around. That's the only mobility in his shoulders. Then he has the one elbow joint here. And of course, his legs can move back and forth. Knee bends, as you can see there. And he does have ankle movement. But the ankle movement is pretty loose already. Again, something that just can't be helped with these type action figures. And the way this thing is posed, it's not straight up and down. It's kind of posed in a little, action kind of pose there. So it's not really meant to be played with. This is meant to be put on a shelf and say, oh, look, I have an Hourman from that Grant Morrison JLA run right here. So I think that's what the biggest thing about this action figure, actually most of the DC Direct line from back in the day, until they really started putting out figures, later on, like I would even say so much as like the DC Essentials line, the very first run of that, when they started really adding articulation and posability to those figures. But that's it, just a quick look at Hourman. And of course, since this is the last figure from the Amazing Android line, we want to get in some of the other figures that were in that line, like Amazo and of course the Tomorrow Woman. There you go. All three figures in that wave are represented right here. I don't know that they made an Amazing Android Series 2. I'll have to go do some digging on that, but I don't think they did. I think this was it for this particular series from DC Direct. All right, with that out of the way, if you like what I'm doing, if you find this video informative, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button and that bell notification. And as always, the best thing you can do, like I say, always please share this content with any other DC Comics fan that you know. Also, check me out on DCCollectors.com where you'll find pictures of this guy as well as these two people in detail with all kinds of cool little detail about these figures in a database format. Check me out on DC Collectors on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Talk DC Toys with me. Love to talk with you. Alrighty, that's it. See you guys tomorrow, and God bless.